Hi, this is Mickey Hellier. It's Saturday morning. That can mean only one thing. It's time for another Hellraiser blog. Last week I was in Derry with Eamon O'Kane, who was boxing Lewis Taylor for the IBF Intercontinental title. I co-promoted a show with Eamon's father, Lawrence. Very unusual show. I mean, they only had like one big ticket seller, which was Eamon. The show was out in the middle of nowhere. It was in like a big, like a sort of a, I think it's a GAA indoor sort of facility. It's like maybe half the size of a football field, indoors. Really unusual event. It was so much fun. The whole family, all the O'Kane family, were like involved in working. I felt sorry for them because like your first show is always going to be like chaos. And it was for them, it was like we were all running around. I'd probably done about 10 miles during the course of the night. It was just like running from one end of the venue to the other. But it was a really good event. Eamon won, a close decision. He won the IBF Intercontinental title. It was, that it was just an enjoyable event. I really took pleasure out of going out there and working with those guys. My man Junior Saeed got a valuable win on points out there. Obviously, the big fight last week was Mayweather Pacquiao. If you watch my blog from last week, you'll see an absolutely spot-on prediction of what would happen. Yeah, the big fight was Mayweather Pacquiao. The best fight was without doubt O'Kane against Lewis Taylor. One thing that stuck in my throat a little bit was Pacquiao after the fight apparently claiming that his shoulder was injured, which it may well, probably was injured. If he says it, I'd say I believe him. That's not what stuck in my throat. The problem I have, similar like when David Haye said about his toe, he had, without doubt, he had a sore toe afterwards. It's not that I don't believe that Pacquiao had a bad shoulder, but it's like after the fight, you start citing these injuries. I've worked with a lot of fighters who go through their training camps. And for a 12-rounder against an opponent like Mayweather or against Klitschko or whoever they're fighting, I would say it'd be very unlikely they're going to go through the full training camp without any niggles or any little injuries. And probably what comes to the fighter is they're asking themselves questions: why did I lose? And they might justify it in their own minds, right? My toe, my shoulder, my elbow, whatever they can sort of find that they had a problem with. For me, Mayweather beat Pacquiao so soundly. I mean, I actually saw tweets. For one, when I said that's my prediction, I had people messaging me saying, no, it won't. Look, I never said it's impossible for Pacquiao to win. I just said he's got about a 1 in 1,000 chance of winning. I certainly wouldn't take offence at anyone having a different opinion to me. That's just boxing. If it was so obvious and straightforward, it wouldn't be such an exciting sport. But a funny one is the people that sort of put the prediction out and then they delete their post after the fight. And I've seen a few people do that, and I know who you are. You might fool many people much of the time. Can't fool Mickey. I've seen you doing it. Yeah, so I still enjoyed the fight. I didn't think it was a bad fight. I thought, Mayweather did exactly what he had to do tactically and technically. He just did the job on the night, and Pacquiao didn't. He wins, we move on. That's how we go. Anyway, on to tonight's boxing. So tonight, my man Rafael Zambrano Love, he's Brazilian heavyweight champion, South American champion, he was Latino champion, WBC Latino champion. He fights Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua actually is in the room next door. He obviously Olympic Games gold medalist, huge puncher, really good fighter, and his approach mentally. I got to know Anthony a little bit over the time that I've sort of been around him. I was actually a trainer at Finchley earlier on, so I've sort of monitored his progress through the amateurs, and seen him, and really well done to him for pulling off what he has done. Playing FIFA last night with him and his mate, they both had the most ridiculous amount of luck I've ever known. I must have hit the post more time, and then they go and both beat me. Anyway, moving on swiftly from that. Yeah, so Joshua against my man Zumbano. I've got to say that as a betting man, I would have to put my money on Joshua to win. I don't think it will be. I mean, at the weigh-in, I spoke to maybe half a dozen people. They all seem to think Joshua very early. Which, look, he's a massive puncher and very skillful. He comes from obviously the amateur system that we have in the UK. We know he's a great boxer. I think it's impossible to find any sort of argument that Zumbano will win. I think Zumbano might give him more problems than what people are anticipating. I hope he does. I hope he does himself justice, because he's a really nice guy. He's a genuine fighter, and you're going to see tonight how brave he is. He's scared of nothing, and he can fight a little bit as well. I got him. Some of the sparring sessions, he was working as a sparring partner for Bermain's Deverne when he was world champion, both for when he won the title and for when he defended against Deontay Wilder. And it was in Mayweather's gym. I can tell you the sparring sessions that he had out there, people would pay to watch them. They were brutal, and he came through it day after day. He doesn't fear anybody. He won't fear Joshua, and no doubt we'll see. We'll see the best of Zumbano, hopefully. Whether that's enough to beat Joshua, you've got to have reservations, I suppose. But looking forward to it all the same. It's a big opportunity. Look, we built him up over a period of time. Now he has to go and earn some money, and he's going in to win. He's not going in just to go through the motions. He's going to try 100% to win. But it's like buying a lottery ticket, whether he actually can beat Anthony Joshua, who's proved himself to have such good pedigree. Very tough ask. Really glad to see a guy called Sam Eggington on the show. Sam Eggington is managed by John Pegg in Birmingham. John has a similar system to what I have in London, where we run a lot of shows. We keep the house money as low as we can. It's not really about making a profit on each show when we run the events. It's about getting as many boxers, as many fights as we can, so that they can develop. A boxer that fights sort of 7 or 8 times a year is going to improve a lot more than a guy who boxes like 3 or 4 times a year, because the whole time they're training, that they've got a fight on the horizon, close to where they are, and because we keep the house money low, it means that they can afford to box more, because if the house money's high, they can't sell that amount of tickets. It means they're boxing less often, means they make less progress. So our systems that we use are almost identical. So I always like to see, when I see a fighter coming from like Sam Eggington at the beginning of his career, wasn't a big ticket seller. John actually offered him to me a couple of times as an opponent. From the first 10 seconds I saw Eggington boxing, I thought, well, for one, he's not coming as an opponent to any of my guys, firstly. Secondly, I can't give him the Danny Donchevs, the Becky Moyos of this world, 2 guys that I manage that lose frequently, because he's obviously a level above that. It's still hard to break through, to get through into the bracket where you're fighting on live on Sky TV as top of the bill, but he's done it, so well done to him. And I've had a couple that have gone through. I think the last one, probably Ben Murphy, fought for the British title a couple of times, and he came through the same thing. My little shows that we're sort of cobbling them together any which way we can, but it makes it worthwhile when it comes off like that. So good luck, Sam Eggington. I know his opponent quite well. I actually expect Sam Eggington. People always message me. I get a lot of messages asking for betting tips. Well, I'm not sure what the price is, but I'd take Sam Eggington to stop this guy. He's a tidy boxer. The other guy sort of shows a lot of the roundhouse sort of swinging punches. Strong, comes forward, but I think Sam Eggington take him out. Something very nice happened actually this week to me. Somebody was saying, like, Dan Woodgate, he's a boxer I manage. I've been managing now for about 4.5 years, something like that. He approached me and he seemed quite awkward about it, sort of saying, I want to box on what's his name? Joelle Feed. Right, he's a decent pro actually. He's promoting a show in Kent. Want to box on Joelle Feed's show because it's nearer my hometown. It took me about 1 second. I know that's easier for him to sell tickets, obviously. He normally boxes on my shows in London. And he was saying, well, I know normally I box on yours. But look, when you sign a contract with a boxer as his manager, you have a duty to do what's right for him. And what's right for him in this instance is to box close to home. I think he's paying like £800 to the house, which I think is a reasonable amount. That's what I charge. So in fact, it's difficult to make ends meet and make the show come out okay financially, charging just £800. But I know for the fighter, better for him to box at home. So that's what we've agreed to do. I think boxers should, insist that their managers get them the best deal. Get the deal that's right for you, not that's right for the promoter. Obviously, I'm promoting myself. I realise, we all have to make it work. That doesn't mean, that it's right for a fighter to be exclusively tied to only fighting there when there's a better deal on his doorstep. Doesn't make sense. What else? Right, I Film London did an interview with Cuden Cassius yesterday. We've got that to look forward to. One of the benefits of being a world famous matchmaker, a gentleman came up to me this morning at breakfast, gave me these statues. They're made of like millions of little beads, or thousands of little beads. And actually, he showed me pictures of like different fighters: Mike Tyson, Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran. And they actually look like the fighters that they're supposed to be made of. I suppose a major low point of the week for me was playing FIFA 15 with Anthony Joshua and his mate yesterday. The pair of them had the most ridiculous amount of luck anyone could ever have. Must have hit the post, crossbar, missed sitters non-stop more than anything. Hopefully he used up all his good luck yesterday. Zambano can go and beat him now. But yeah, no, they're good guys. I've not really got any bad word to say about Joshua. It's difficult to sort of want one of my boxers to beat him, because I sort of wish him really to have a successful career. But we're going into it, and my guy's a good guy too. So I hope he has good luck tonight, and we will see. We'll see. It's on live on Sky Sports, so watch out for that. Cheers for watching, guys. Catch you next week. I've got a show at King's Cross on Saturday. See you then. Bye bye.